It's morning of day 11 of the Grand Enchantment Trail, and dare I even say it, it's kind of cold. Kind of cold this morning. So today I've got to walk from the 4 Mile campground back up to the main Grand Enchantment Trail route, and then I'm going to be entering the Santa Teresas, which highly anticipating. It's, the feedback is it's really, really hard. So I'm going to try to just stay calm and take my time, not even worry about miles. The first part, especially the first part of today, shouldn't be too bad, but apparently once you get into it, it's pretty rough. So I guess we'll just see how that goes. Road walking with the mountains looming before me. It's funny, yesterday, realizing what a kind of a destination Klondyke is. Klondyke is just a collection of a couple of buildings, and it seemed like everybody who was coming to the store was coming to the store. Apparently it's like 40 miles of dirt road to get here, so it's like a destination, yeah. So people would just drive, make it to the store, have their little chat, and then that was their destination. Really, really interesting. So while I'm on this road walk and a little bored, let me explain what makes the Santa Teresas so difficult. They're really rugged, just topography-wise, and they're pretty remote. There's a network of trails there, but they haven't been maintained. They're very little used. Part of the reason is because the entire mountain range is pretty much surrounded by private property. So the only way to get there is to hike it, like I'm doing, and the other Grand Enchantment Trail hikers are doing. But I can't imagine that many other people do go hike there. So the trails were already a bit of a mess, pretty overgrown, pretty navigationally difficult. And then 2 years ago, a high intensity fire blew through that area. So those two factors are what make this so difficult. So again, first part of today, first part of this mountain range shouldn't be too hard, but then it might get hard. It might get a little harder. We'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, so this gate is actually a forest road where the trail is supposed to turn. See any issue here? So the deal here is that to the right of this road is private property. To the left of this road is state trust. So the private property owner chained this fence and put no trespassing sign up. So this is one of the property disputes that there's a little detour around. So I need to go up to the next forest road and then cut across country, which doesn't look too bad, just might be a little full of trees, to get to where that road actually turns up fully into state land. Kind of annoying, but gotta do what you gotta do. Connected with the road, and I am steadily climbing up and away. It's gonna take a while to get all that way up in elevation. Okay, I'm glad I checked my GPS. So back there, that gate is the boundary for the national forest here, which means I had to take a turn. So this is looking back down where I came from, way down there. And now I'm way up in these mountains, these very, very rugged mountains. So I can see why this trail is going to be difficult. This cairn does mark my turn. And this trail is already a little difficult to see. So just gonna take my time and see how this goes. So I know the tough stuff is gonna be Holdout Canyon. This is Laurel Canyon. This is really nice. It does feel nice and rugged. The trail I followed so far was overgrown, but you could still follow it. I think that's gonna change later. You got all these cool cliffs around you, and then you've got this beautiful trickling stream bed right here. So this has been nice. Every once in a while the trail becomes really easy to follow. You can also see I'm up in more of a wooded area with pines and junipers. Because temperatures are not as bad as the heat wave, but when you're fully exposed to the sun, you do get a little hot, so it's nice to have that kind of regular shade, at least in this section. What's not cool is all the cat claw on the trail. Just right over the trail. Oh man, reef tank. Thought I'd never see this. Okay, so I've got to go all the way around this and then to the right. And then that should take me to Holdout Canyon, which is supposed to be a little bit more of a challenge than I just went through. And though I did lose the trail a couple times, didn't go too far off it, just there were a lot of paths there that looked like trails. Some sections weren't clearly cairned, so I think it said this junction was unsigned. It's clearly signed now. Warning, entering burned area. So we're getting to the real challenging part. High intensity fire is right. This is destruction. We've got some stuff growing back. I'm sure there's plenty of cat claw out there for me to get snagged on, but wow. Yeah, that was a bad fire. Here it is through the trees. Holdout Canyon. With all its crazy rock formations. This should prove interesting. The trail has been absolutely obliterated in places. It just doesn't exist. Look at this. Even closer. This is really, really cool. At the moment, I'm going to say it's worth it taking this route instead of one of the detours that goes through the, not so much through the burn section. We'll see how difficult this trail gets. Some more of hiking in Holdout Canyon. All this next to me right over here. And this is a part of the trail that is unburnt. So, it's not super easy to follow, but easier. It does exist. Still in Holdout Canyon, still cool, but this is a slightly more fire ravaged section. Turn around a little bit. Rattlesnake number 3. I don't know if I got him or not. Yeah, he's way there. It's one of the ones that was kind of dark with yellow stripes. I know I should be thankful there's anything at all, but this is what counts as a cairn in this section. A single rock on another rock. Down in the rocks now and in the dead trees. Just see if I can. It's not a lot of space to work with. Oh, let me zoom out. There we go. Yeah, just kind of making my way through this maze of rocks with single cairns to guide the way. Getting close to exiting the rock maze, just getting a view of the other parts of this mountain. It's just a super impressive, rugged mountain range. And that's a better cairn. And I fell. Ugh. Okay, I think I've had enough. The trail's officially gotten annoying. So I've been following this drainage for a while. Sometimes in the drainage, sometimes on one bank, sometimes on the left bank. And there's all these cow trails around here too. So with the burn, and it being a naturally hard trail to follow, and all the cow trails, I have been backtracking like crazy. Still not out of Holdout Canyon. There is just so much cat claw out here. There is just so much cat claw and other spiky stuff out here. Man. Whew, I made it out of Holdout Canyon during the daylight. Just turn around real quick. Ooh, that place is pretty cool, but oh my god, does it work. It's a lot of work. So I'd like to at least make it to a former corral today, has water as well. If by some miracle I make it, you know, with time to spare, I might move on from there, but that's my next goal. Alright, I'm past the corral and actually on the Black Rock Trail, which just follows the creek here for a while until my next junction. So I'm just going to follow this until the sun goes down and then set up camp. It looks like there should be plenty of opportunities to set up camp. Should be able to find a space far enough from water, and then there's water accessible here too. Okay, so I think this is going to be a cowboy camping type of night. I'm at the widest part of the wash where there's still sand too, so hopefully I'm far enough away from the water, and I got the beautiful golden light on the Santa Teresa Mountains here. Oh man, what a day. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous, but it's also work. So that's the end of today. Tomorrow, still moving through, I can't even talk, through the Santa Teresa Mountains. There is some cross-country stuff coming up, but if I make good enough time on it, then maybe I will actually be able to start the descent down, and the descent is way easier. These are gorgeous mountains, but they're work. Okay, until tomorrow.